Changing Landscapes Bolivia is brought to you in part by Roadrunner Magazine and Outback Motor Tech.
Roadrunner is the most comprehensive resource for motorcycle touring and travel. Read, discover, ride.
Take a landscape artist from Canada, Dominik Madlinsky. Put him on a motorcycle. Well, try to put him on a motorcycle and send him to Bolivia for 6 weeks to paint some stunning scenery.
Hola.
Then take his buddy, Scott Wilson, a travel writer who never shuts up. Put him on another bike, and what do you get? Well, you get lost. You see, the GPS stopped working and the map wasn't worth a crap. Having said that, when they got lost well. They met some great people, ate some fantastic food, and saw what they came for. Changing landscapes. Follow along as Dominic and Scott rip through Bolivia, from the Altiplano to the Andes, from dubious river crossings to time out in the Amazon, from street carnivals to salt flats, and from a road of death to a mountain full of silver. Bolivia is a dream, an old-fashioned dream full of grinning characters, stodgy food, and where adventure is the norm. It's one of those places you'll want to go back to over and over and over again. Six weeks in Bolivia. And yes, believe it or not, they're still friends. This is Changing Landscapes Bolivia.
Oh, here's the Nomadic Bull.
And the Zen guy.
And welcome to Bolivia!
Our country.
Woo! All right.
We were back on the road again as we headed from the silver mining city of Potosi to the Salar de Uyuni, for the world's largest salt flats.
Oh no! We're taking shelter here. What are you saying, Mr. Zen guy? Well, it's a very Zen moment. So this is our little, it's hailing again. This is what, the third, fourth time it's hailed. Yeah. And this is a typical Bolivian roadside stall. Yeah, very good.
The road was an unexpected delight. It was on the tourist route, so the government had plowed some serious money into it, and it showed. A beautiful surface through an equally beautiful landscape. The terrain changed constantly along with the elevation and weather. We hit sun, rain, snow, and hail. Still, it was a gorgeous ride. If there was one dampener, it was a worry about Dominic's bike. It had started burning serious oil, and as we were at our furthest point from Cuzco, a breakdown would be a logistical nightmare. We made Uyuni, on the edge of the salt flats, and our worst dream was realized as Dominic's bike died in the plaza. It had burned 1.5 liters of oil in 200 kilometers and refused to start. So we tracked down a mechanic and hoped for the best.
Non funciona, motor, but no, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Can we bring motor aquí? Yeah. Burn oil. Oil. See? Okay. 3 hours?
3 de la tarde.
In the afternoon, 3 o'clock. 3 de tarde. Aquí. Okay. All right, gracias.
wonderful. We're gonna get out of here.
And then these are the countries you've been through so far?
Right.
All right. Canadian flag on top. I love it. This is good.
First country.
Yeah, first country. So it's Nomadic Bull.
And the Zen guy.
All right, we're here in Uyuni. We rode into town last night. It's a real cool little town. Obviously, they hosted part of the Dakar last year or this year. And this town, it's a cool town. It's kind of got a frontier spirit to it. Live and let live sort of thing. Anyways, we were having some mechanical issues yesterday. We ran into a very lovely couple that pointed us to a place to stay. And we've been talking to them this morning, and they're on a rig here, and they've been traveling for a year and 10 months. So anyways, we're going to introduce you to them, and they're going to show us their rig, which was partly manufactured in Canada, partly. Not the motorcycle, but the sidecar. Anyways, here they are. So names are?
Efrain Martinez.
And?
Bella.
Bella. So you two are a couple, right?
Yes, we are married.
You're married, all right. And you're still married after.
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. The reason I'm laughing here is because, all right, you got to check this sidecar out. It is the mother of all sidecars. Okay. So you guys have been on the road for a year and 10 months.
That's right.
And how much longer?
Probably a year more.
Another year.
Another year.
Okay. And then this here, what is, do you want to translate this for me?
What basically it means that to travel in a motorcycle is a lifestyle, and it's a beautiful, uncomfortable, suffer, very glorious lifestyle.
So motorcycling is the way to go.
Yes.
All right, power to you. Well, no, you guys got tremendous spirit and courage. I love it. Go back, All paintings created during the filming of this series are available for purchase on Dominic's website at www.paintingjourneys.com. If you're enjoying the show and would like to contribute to future free programming, why not become a patron at patreon.com/nomadicbull. Thanks for watching. Well, the mechanic's best wasn't good enough. Dominic's bike was toast, so we rented a Landcruiser for a 2-day tour of the Salt Flats, beginning at a graveyard.
Yeah, so here we are on the edge of Salt Flats in Uyuni, Bolivia. Here is an old train, basically wrecking place. And what I wanted to say here is a perfect example of juxtaposition. And what I mean here is juxtaposition of shape and form. You see this beautiful natural landscape, and it's juxtapositioned with the industrial shapes of those old trains. So for an artist's eye, or the filmmaker, it is a very, very interesting subject matter because of the very high contrast between the blue sky and the rusty orangey metal. I love it.
Okay, anything you'd like to say, Dominic?
There's your camera.
Okay, he just found a camera. Look at that. Finders keepers. I'm going to hang on to that, baby. Jeez. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say?
I'm the quality control guy. I have to keep an eye on you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now, this is some of Dominic's earlier work. Okay, vintage, what was this, 98, 99?
Something like just after art school.
This is when you're going through a rebellious phase?
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you tell me what you are going for here? I mean, what's the message? Is it, or is it just full chaos?
I don't quite remember it.
At one time, Bolivia had big plans for its railway, and Uyuni became a rail hub as minerals were transported to the Pacific coast. With the collapse of the mining industry in the 1940s, many of the trains were simply abandoned, run up a line, and left to the salt.
For an artist, this is a dream come true in terms of abstract composition, because you have so many diagonals crossing and also surface form relationship. I like to use that term because I think it describes really well the overall basically canvas. Oh, listen. No. Okay, we forgot to tell you that we're looking for a new transportation to get back home. That's not it. Ain't working.
Needs serious mechanical repairs, just like Dominic's motorcycle.
So on a trip to Bolivia, I went through 2 motorcycles. So I have no way of getting back to Cusco on my own with 2 wheels. So since we are on the South Flats, we rented a Landcruiser Toyota with a driver. He's taking us on a trip. We're gonna paint and photograph, and then we'll see how we're gonna get back to Cusco. But it's an adventure.
See, this is the train graveyard in Uyuni. All the leftover trains from a bygone era. And just over here to our left, we're initiating the Dominic motorcycle graveyard. And so far there'll be a Yamaha 660 Tenere and a Kawasaki KLR 650. And we're very fortunate though that we happen to talk to Per Motor Tours, and for whatever reason, it's beyond me, they've agreed to give him another one when he gets back to Cusco. So if that one dies, we're gonna have to transport it down and bury it next to the other 2.
Expertly planned tours complete with maps, GPS files, and area information. Roadrunner is the most comprehensive resource for motorcycle touring and travel. Read, discover, ride.
From the graveyard, we headed toward the salt flats. The Salar de Uyuni is a legacy of a prehistoric lake. Lago Mention was a saltwater lake that was created as waters were trapped while the Andes were being formed. Over time, it dried up and several smaller lakes and numerous salt flats were formed. The Salar de Uyuni is the largest of those flats and measures over 10,000 square kilometers. And today, it's a great playground for Toyota Landcruisers. As you know, 2014 was the first year that Bolivia was part of the Paris-Dakar. And we are here in front of the monument, and as good fortune would have it, apparently they're coming back again next year.
So this is actually where the racers came through. Unfortunately, we're on our bikes, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And the president of Bolivia, Evo Morales, is actually a big fan. He came here last year to support the race.
He came here, and I'm going to show you the monument. And just so you know, this whole thing is made out of salt. So it doesn't look all that big. But when you see Mr. Medlinski up there, it gives you an idea.
That's big.
So what are you? You're 4'5"? All right, so Dominic's 5'11", so that we're talking 15 feet there, maybe. Oh, beautiful. Where's Poland? All right. Cool.
Poland and Canada.
Canada? Oh my God. We need to do something about that. How about Japanese flag from Rico?
Yeah, let's see. Japanese.
There's Korean.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Rising sun. So in the background here we have apparently the first salt hotel, which dates back about 10 years. All made from salt. Everything in here, except the ceiling obviously, is made from salt. And if you listen, you can hear it crunch underfoot.
Next stop was the Isla del Pescado, a cactus-covered island stranded in a sea of salt and surrounded by volcanoes.
Since it's such a wide horizontal landscape, I'm going to use double panels, and I use that quite often in the field situations, and I basically join them together like that in the back using a tape. That's all. Okay. Most of the time when I paint outside plein air painting, I use a cadmium lemon yellow as an underpainting. Basically, it kind of reflects the color of the natural light, the sunlight. And it's a great underpainting, especially here. There is actually tons of yellow in the sky, believe it or not. So that will create an atmosphere of luminosity. I mean, it's very simple shapes, right? You know, big foreground, middle ground of the volcano and the hills and the sky, right? 3 planes.
Alright.
But you know, if I just paint them, you know, white, kind of purplish and bluish, it would be very, very boring. So you have to find the shape within the shape, and you have to find the texture within a plane where you can't actually see the texture.
Hey Dominic, did you take your malaria pill today? Okay.
As I'm painting, I'm leaving the underpainting coming through.
Imagine navigating by volcano. How cool is that? That night, we slept in a hotel built from the #1 building material of the area. You got it, salt.
Yes.
So how does your cell feel?
The what? Cell? Cell is good, you know. I have a solid table, solid walls. We have a window that looks into a hallway. It's good.
You know the nicest feature?
What is the nicest feature? Wiring?
Well, this bed
Oh yeah.
will never collapse.
That's right.
And yes, Dominic made a very good point. The wiring here is awesome. You have a single wire that runs from room to room. Gotta love it. The next morning, we left the salt flats behind and headed for Laguna Canapa. It was one of those days, a spectacular day, a 10 out of 10.
So we are right on the Chilean and Bolivian border. Right there is Chile. Just a few meters from this car.
Join us next time as we head back to Peru and fulfill the dream of a lifetime with a visit to Machu Picchu. So here we are in Agua Caliente, which is right below Machu Picchu, which is up there, over there, over there. We're not sure exactly yet.
Kind of hard to tell because the cliffs are up there.
And if you enjoyed this show, here's a trailer for our upcoming Vancouver Island series. Why is it that whenever we feel the need to go somewhere exotic, we get on a plane and leave? What's wrong with our own backyard? What's wrong with Vancouver Island? Well, as it turns out, nothing at all.
He wasn't for sure that it was in fact an island.
Vancouver Island is as exotic as it gets, but it's a different kind of exotic. It's not palm trees and margaritas. It's giant cedars and single malt. It's a pristine and wild exotic.
Fish whisperer and sardine, they're on camera.
Hi, my name is Scott Wilson, aka the Nomadic Bull. Join me and my good buddy, Dominic Medlinski, the Zen guy, as we explore our island.
54 and 50.
We'll head up north and meet Joey and learn about Cole Harbor. We'll take in a potlatch in Alert Bay and we'll ride the rails in Port Alberni. And maybe we'll just have a tipple or two. We'll meet great locals, hear fascinating stories, ride through stunning scenery, and wallow in a beautiful wilderness setting. Vancouver Island is a gem, our gem, and it's time to share it. This is Changing Landscapes Vancouver Island.
So here's the Nomadic Bull and the Zen guy.
And the acting base commander for CFB Esquimalt today.
The museum is open to the public Monday through Friday, 10 till 3:30.
And admission is by donation, well worth it. Go and check it out.